working KCST Emeritus Scientist in Cochin University of Fisheries Technology. He specialized in preventive healthcare in aquaculture. He has made a number of comprehensive contributions in the field of aquaculture. His major contributions to the fisheries and aquaculture are nitrifying bioreactor, recirculatory aquaculture system as backward arrays. He authored more than 115 publications in peer-reviewed journal. We are respectfully welcome him to this discussion. Next resource person is Professor A. Bijukumar. Bijukumar sir is a very familiar person, those who are working in this field. Currently serves as a professor and head of Department of Aquatic Biology, University of Kerala. He serves as a scientific officer of Kerala State Science and Technology, and as a principal scientific officer and member secretary of Kerala State Biodiversity Board. His area of research include taxonomy, biodiversity, and ecology. He published more than 180 public research papers, 25 books, 8 new, and he described more than 8 new genera and 32 new species in aquatic organisms, and 3 species are named after Bijukumar sir. We warmly welcome Biju sir to this panel discussion. Next panelist is Dr. Ganesh sir. Ganesh sir is presently is working as an assistant director in Embeda Regional Division, Mangalore. He is having more than 25 years of experience in the field of aquaculture. He was associated with the RGCA, sea bass and crab hatchery project for more than 15 years. His area of specialization, live feed culture, and also marine finfish and shellfish aquaculture. We are warmly welcome Ganesh sir to this panel discussion. We are also welcome all students, researchers, and other dignitaries, and all other researchers from outside India to this discussion. Next, I cordially invite Dr. Sasidharan Pillai sir to proceed with the panel discussion. Please, sir.
Thank you, Riyash. I'm really happy moment because I can see all my friends during this COVID days, which was a closed period. Good evening to everybody, all the participants, and first of all, thanks the office bearers of the fisheries group for inviting me to take this responsibility. Initially, I thought it as a simple function, but which naturally happens every year as a small discussions by small groups. But this year, these professional groups has decided to take it into another level. Another level, I say that it is because of the presence of the very eminent line of panelists who can give an insight into all the aspect of the topic which we are going to discuss today. I just give certain introductory note for beginning the discussions. As we know that the World Fisheries Day, it's November 21st, is it is celebrated all over the world, not only, but it's celebrated as a gesture for highlighting the importance of fisheries and fishers, in fact. So we know that in all over the world, the number of persons who are depending on the sector is more than 6 crores or something. The exact number we cannot get. Anyway, in FAO statistics, it say that more than 60 million people are employed in the sector. And what we, in fact, this is a very, very peculiar, exceptional time of COVID, which the COVID-19 has, in fact, drastically affected the fishery sector in the beginning, because we know that the COVID started from the wet market of Wuhan, which is the fisheries market. So from there, when it started as a pandemic and spread all over the world, in fact, the fishery sector was affected all the markets were closed, all the harbors were closed, and moreover, keeping the social distancing, the prime requirement for addressing the COVID-19 pandemic, is very difficult at the area of fisheries, which they are gathered in true numbers. So anyway, today we are discussing the very contemporary and very important topic of the day, or a topic of the time, which I can tell you. That is the nutritional security of the people, in fact. But this, I know that, and everybody knows that this is in fact, it is a contextual thing. For example, why I tell you that when we think about the nutritional security in the context of Kerala context, it is very different when compared to the Indian context, and it will be different in the global context. Why I say that? Because we take about consider the fishery sector itself. When we think about the fisheries, the per capita fish intake in the Indian context is only 6 or 7 kilograms. But when it comes to Kerala context, that is 30 kilo, nearly 30 kilo. That is 4 to 5 times of the Indian context. So that with regard to the nutritional value of fish, we know that the food security and nutritional security is different. It's a different aspect. Another thing I need to bring into the notice of the discussion team, that there is a drastic change happening in the fishery scenario or fishery sector itself. That everybody knows that a global fisheries is undergoing a very transitional stage, which is a fundamental change, in fact. That is from the importance of the capture fisheries and the importance of the cultural fisheries. That is, there is a shift from the capture fisheries to the culture fisheries. But when we think about the nutritional value of the fish, I had just gone through certain papers, especially I referred for the purpose itself. We see that the wild captured fish is giving more nutritional value than the cultured fish. There are certain studies I just gone through. And what is happening is that if you take about the situation of all over the world, we know that earlier I told you that the food security and nutritional security is a different aspect. As far as food security is concerned, we know that India, there is a global report every year. It is published. That is a global hunger index. It is there. This year's hunger index, global hunger index, shows that Indian position is going down compared to our near countries, including Bangladesh. Last year it was, I think it is, our position is 94 when out of 106 or something. They are not considering the developed countries, but only the countries which are developing and poor countries. So in an Indian scenario, the hunger index shows that India is lagging behind. But when it comes to Kerala context, it is different. We know that. And we feel that we can understand there is just like economic divide, there is a nutritional divide is increasing in Indian context. Maybe Kerala also it is. So how to address this nutritional divide? There are other divides, we know, the economic divide, as well as the digital divide, like that. So many terms are now coined. I think we need to discuss the nutritional divide. That is, in fact, it is a deprivation. But that deprivation, when we consider the goal of the global organization, that is a sustainable development goal, the major and foremost goal is regarding hunger and poverty. The first goal is to reach world without hunger, and the other one is without poverty. So if that goal is to be reached, there is a lot of things to be done. So as far as nutritional security is concerned, everybody is, because we are working in the fishery sector, everybody knows that fish is a very, very important component in maintaining the nutritional security of the people. In Indian context, we know that the number of people who are taking fish may be less. But in Kerala context, we all know that it is about, I think it's about 85% of the population is taking fish, and it is increasing day by day. Its demand for fish is also increasing. And in this context, definitely considering the, what I told you, the sustainable development goal, which is fixed for 2030 to achieve all over the member countries, there is definitely a challenge before the policymakers as well as the implementers. So what should be the road? What will be the roadmap? Can you hear?
Yes, yes. Now it's
Yeah,
Yes,
yes,
sir.
sir. Yes.
Okay, you can hear also. Okay, there is some problem. And in this particular context, we are discussing this very topic, very important topic. I am not going to elaborate upon, because all our panelists, which are they can very eminent panelists we have, all my friends. I warmly welcome from my part also all the panelists and also the participants. So I think that with this introductory note, that India needs a roadmap for a nutritionally secured and food secured nation. As part of that, India, Kerala also part of that. So definitely, I think that our presentations by our eminent panelists will give a light into the various aspects of this topic. And here I stop for the introductory note. I think we can start our presentation in our scheduled thing, as I give certain notes for the panelists. As per our schedule, the time given is 20 minutes for each panelist. And I think I had earlier discussions with the organizers also. We will have the general discussion and comments at the last after completing all the presentations. So by this time, all the participants can start their writing their comments or their observations in the chat box. The organizers are already interested one or two of our members to scroll through that chat box and collect the questions and suggestions or even discussion points, collate, and they will, in fact, they will present it, and the panel will respond to that. That's the format which we are going to adopt for conducting the discussion session. I request all participants' cooperation in this to make this session a successful event. Thank you. So I will call Dr. Dinesh Cheruvat for presenting The topic, policies for sustainable development of fisheries in Kerala. Cheruvat is a very close friend of mine. We are, in fact, we are co-workers, in fact. So I need not want to elaborate upon the details of Cheruvat already given by Rias. So